Namaste, my friends. Welcome back to the Ancient Wisdom channel. Hippocrates in ancient Greece, and ultimately in the whole Western world of medicine, he was considered to be the father of medicine. And he wrote many books and was very successful in curing things that up until that time, no one else could cure. Among the many things that he said was, touch not with iron the part of the body which is ruled by the sign through which the moon is transiting. And that means that we should not perform a surgery on a part of the body that corresponds with the sign that the moon is transiting in at this time. So let's just take, for example, if you have to schedule a surgery for your arm, you shouldn't do it when the moon is transiting in Gemini, because Gemini rules the house of the arms. And there is a map of the entire body where each part of the body is ruled by a certain sign. Now, I just want to put out there a couple of things that are ultimately a disclaimer. One is, there might be times when an emergency surgery is necessary and you don't have time to check what the planets and the moon are doing, and you shouldn't. You should follow your doctor's advice and do what's necessary to save your life. I personally am not a doctor. I just know a bit about medical astrology and health and natural wellness. And so I'm putting it out there from my knowledge and my experience. Now, each sign has its original house in the original natural chart. So, for example, Aries would be the first house, Taurus would be the second house, Gemini would be the third house, etc. We'll go through that a little bit later in the video. Now, if someone were to ask me, when is the best time for a surgery, something that you would schedule in the future, I would not only take into account that simple method that if it's for your arm, you wouldn't want to do it when the moon is in Gemini. But let's say you're an Aquarius ascendant, your third house would be in Aries. And so if you were doing a surgery on your arm, I would also not schedule it when the moon is transiting Aries. Also, I've heard, and I'm not sure if this is Hippocrates, but I understand that we shouldn't schedule surgeries also when the moon is transiting the sign of Scorpio under any circumstance. So that also tells me that we should avoid surgeries when the moon is transiting the 8th house of your chart, of your natal chart. So another example, let's say you are a Libra ascendant, your 8th house would be Taurus. So for you, you wouldn't want to schedule a surgery during the Taurus moon transit either. I would also take two more things into consideration. One is the nakshatras, which are very powerful and they have their own energy. The moon goes through a nakshatra each day, a different nakshatra, approximately one per day. And some of those are very rough nakshatras, and some of them are very healing. Like, for example, Ashwini Nakshatra, which is the first 13 degrees, 20 minutes of Aries, is known to be symbolized by the Ashwini Kumars, who are physicians essentially, and it represents speedy healing. So that would be probably a good one, unless you're a Virgo ascendant and the moon would be going through your 8th house, which is Aries, then it might not be so good. So you'd have to check on these things. Another thing, another time that I wouldn't schedule a surgery is when the moon is transiting a Gandanta point, which is when it's going through, going from a water sign to a fire sign. The Gandanta point is said to be a very unsettled, difficult time. They say that it's like a cosmic knot. And so I would avoid that time also. Now I will go through a very basic, brief run through of the signs and houses and what parts of the body are influenced by those signs and houses. Okay. The head is first house, Aries. Just below the head is considered to be the second house. Sometimes the eyes, they kind of fall in between. I've seen them considered to be a part of the first house and also the second house. The third house is for the arms, and that would be Gemini. The fourth house is for the heart and the chest area, and that would be Cancer. The fifth house is the solar plexus area of the body, and that would be Leo. The fifth house, did I already say? I said the fifth house. The sixth house, which is Virgo, would control the stomach. The seventh house is the upper abdomen, and that is Libra. The eighth house is the lower abdomen and the sexual organs, and that is Scorpio. The ninth house is Sagittarius, and that rules the thighs. The 10th house is Capricorn, and that rules the knees. The 11th house rules the lower legs and the ankles, and that is Aquarius. The 12th house, and that's the last house, rules the feet, and that is Pisces. So that, my friends, is the very, very brief and simple synopsis. And if you have any questions, if you'd like a reading so that you know when to schedule a surgery and what parts of the bodies are affected by the movement of the moon at a certain time, you can contact me. You can comment below the video. And in the description, there'll be links and a little bit more information for you. So I hope you take really good care of yourself, take care of your health, take care of your body, especially these days. And we'll see you next time. Many thanks, many blessings, and namaste.